Alright folks, today I have the Wuben T102 Pro, or T102 Prometheus, which is the name that's typed on the side of it, the full name of this thing. And this thing is a beast, and it comes in this awesome case, right? And they included this flag with it when they sent it to me. Wuben, since 1981, right? And look at it, just look at it. The Wuben T102 Pro, or Prometheus. This thing is a lot of power and a lot of distance. Type C USB rechargeable, waterproof. It comes with a 26650 battery, right? This thing it's got a lot of power. There's a lot of good things about this light. Well, let's get into it. Alright, so what you get in the box with the T102 Pro, or T102 Prometheus by Wuben, is you get this awesome case that has everything you need included in it. So what they've got is, they've got a charger here that, right, you plug the USB-C cable into this, and this end they make it adaptable to go to different countries. I'm not sure which markets they sell in, but this is not the US, so I use this one. It's for the United States, which is where I'm located. All right, just clips on there and twists, and it locks, and it tells you open and lock, and you push that little button right there, and you can twist it and take it off. But once I put this thing on here, I'm never going to take it apart again unless I'm just going to put it in the case and transport it, which is likely. So there you go. Alright, so it does have a Type C USB charger. That means you can turn it in either way, and it doesn't matter. And the other end of it goes into a USB port on your computer, or on your box charge, or on the charger that's included with it. You do have a lanyard, which is nice. It has a quality control card, so it shows you that this company is putting effort into ensuring that all the pieces of equipment work properly when it leaves. Alright, that's awesome. It has extra O-rings, so if you want to take that battery out and store it and put it back in, you don't have to worry about having to find an O-ring if it ever goes bad. And you've got a warranty card, which you can fill out and complete, and then you'll have the warranty on it. But let's get all that out of the way, because what you're here for is the flashlight. Alright, so with this light, you get a 26650 battery that is included with it. On the outside of the light, it will tell you the orientation needed for the battery to function. On one end of the battery, you got a spring. The battery is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, made by Wuben. It gives you some long run times on that. Let's see, in here there is a spring on the inside there. Alright, it's got some nice threads that are easy to get on, like when you try, you don't ever accidentally make a mistake because you're pushing against the spring. So the threads are threaded well, so it's always easy to get on. You do have a hole here that you can put on like a tripod, and so you can mount this light to something if you have it, and it does mount to a bipod. It does tail stand, right? Even though it's a big light, it is a little top heavy when you do that, so it can fall over. But if you put it on a solid surface and you don't touch it, it will tail stand, and there's no problems there. But alrighty. So it does have one switch on it. They put the W on there, and there's a light behind that. It's got a couple of screws around it where it's mounted to the light itself. Has some big heat fins on here to help keep the heat off. And this light doesn't really get warm in the hand when you use it. Has a very aggressive bezel on it. Has a smooth reflector that is deep. And it does have a port for a Type C USB charger. And that's it. I mean, that's the light, and it's a big. So here's something I'll compare it to. So here's the difference. This is the Polaris G20L. It runs off of 26650 battery as well. It only does 3,000 lumens for 45 minutes at a beam distance of 300 meters. The Wuben Prometheus gives you 3,500 lumens at an hour and a half at 500 meters. So you think, why do I need such a big flashlight on a 26650? I could have so much smaller light. Well, do you want the distance? Do you want the lumen output? The runtime? Well, you need a bigger light. So what I love about it, though, is they did make it this small that if I'm wearing jeans, I can stick this thing in my back pocket. This part of it, it'll go in your back pocket, no problems. It'll go in the front pocket, no problems. You'll just have most of this sticking out. This light only gives me 3,000 lumens for 45 minutes, and I only get 300 meters. Doesn't have the same distance. So when you're looking at a 26650 light and wondering why some of them are humongous and some of them are teeny tiny, well, you got to look at what it does. And I want a light that goes far and shines for a long time, and that I can also turn it down on the lower modes and use it up close. And which one does that? The Prometheus T102 by Wuben. So we're going to get this bad boy out of the way because we're done with it, I think. Maybe during the nighttime I'll compare the two at night so you can see what you're actually getting. But so let's go through the user interface on this thing. Alright, so to turn it on, which for this type of light I like. So this is clearly not like a tactical light you're going to put in your pocket. Doesn't have a tail switch. So you don't accidentally turn it on while it's in your back pocket or whatever. You have to hold it to turn it on, which is awesome. Now it does remember the last mode you had it in. So whenever I turn it on, that light's going to come on and let me know what kind of power I have left. So it's a battery indicator. What'll happen is this will turn red when you start running low on battery. So what I'm going to do is go up to the... So you turn it on and turn it off by holding it down. So once and you can't do anything else from off. Except for strobe. If you have it off, you can't click it and turn it on. It doesn't do anything if you just click it once. But if you double click, you get instant strobe from off. So from off, the only thing you can do is go into the last mode you used, or go into a strobe mode. So to go into the last mode I used, I hold it down. It's on the last mode I used, and then I click it once, and it goes up. And I click it again, and it'll go up. And I click it again, and it goes to the lowest. So your lowest mode here is, let's see here. Your lowest mode is 13 lumens. And that is actually pretty bright. But it's good for, I mean, it'll light up your walkway while you're walking. So that's 13 lumens. If I click it again, I get the middle mode, and it's 212 lumens. That's 14 hours on 212 lumens. So that's a big battery. 212 lumens, a lot of headlamps around the 200 and 300 range. So to have 14 hours of that range is awesome. The next one I click is high. That's 788 lumens at 3.3 hours. So that's a good runtime for over 500 lumens, right? So we're at 788 lumens, almost 800 lumens at 3.3 hours. Alright, and then we click it again, and it gets us turbo. It's 3,500 lumens. That gives us an hour and a half, 500 meters, 62,561 candela on that. And you got a 1 meter drop resistance, and you get IPX8 with this flashlight. So now if I double click it, I get strobe, and it will alternate. It has a fast and a slow strobe. Then if I double click again, I get SOS. And if I single click, it goes to the last mode used. So whatever I want it to be in all the time, so if I keep it on this highest mode and I hold the button down and turn it off, it's going to be on the highest mode when I turn it back on, even if I use the strobe. So you can see it's off now. I use strobe. I click it once, it turns it off, and then when I hold it down and turn it on, it's back in the highest mode. If you don't like that, you just click it to the lowest setting like this. Hold it down and turn it off, and when you turn it back on, it's back in the lowest setting. So it has a memory function on here that will remember the last mode you used and always turn it back on in that mode. You can't ask for nothing better. So it offers one switch. You don't have to have a bunch of switches. There's nothing confusing about it. The only thing you could do with this thing is double click it and go into strobe by accident, right? But once you know the light and you use it for a little bit, you know what it does. So I like it because a single click takes you through the modes. Hold it, turns it off. Hold it, turns it on, and double click gives you strobe. So it's simple. It does everything you want it to do. All right, it's waterproof. You can drop it. And you have several different modes. So let's say a tornado comes through here and eats the area up, or a bad hurricane or storm, and you want to last a while. Well, you can turn this thing down to the lowest mode, right, and turn it off, and every time you turn it on, it's in the lowest mode. On the lowest mode, you get 240 hours of constant on runtime. So man, this thing will last you no telling how long if you were to turn it on and turn it off in just the lowest mode and use it conservatively. So that's why I like lights like this, because it gives me distance. Obviously it gives me up close lighting, and it gives me amazing run times. So for me, I couldn't carry this all the time, but for something to have in the home or in a bag or in a camper is just brilliant. It does everything I need it to do. So this is an amazing light kit, and I really appreciate Wuben sending this to me to look at. And I want to take it outside and show you guys just what this thing can do at night, and we'll compare it to, say, that Polaris, right? You want to see that? See the difference between a not thrower, a 300 meter light, versus a thrower, 500 meter light, and a little bit difference between the brand. You can see what it's like, and you can see that you might as well just go and make that leap and get you a Wuben that gives you the run times and the distance that you need. Alright, we're going to take this Wuben and we're going to turn it on in the lowest mode. Alright, that is 13 lumens. You can just barely see it across the street there. Alright, and you got 240 hours on that 13 lumens. And you can see that for walking around, plenty of light. See my feet? That is plenty of light to walk around with. I mean, that's the edge of the other side of the street there, and I can see it. So, I mean, you drop something, you lose something, you can see that is plenty of light. 13 lumens, right? Then we're going to go up to the next mode, which is 212 lumens. And you just click it once. Boom, 212 lumens. And I've got 14 hours at that runtime, at that output. So 212 hours. I'm sorry. 212 lumens at 14 hours. 212 lumens, 14 hours. So you can see, we can see bright at the feet, great across the street. That tree is like 50 foot. And then we're going to go up to the next mode, which is 788 lumens. That's the high mode. Boom. 788 lumens. Now at this mode, we get 3.3 hours. So at this mode, you got 3.3 hours of runtime of shining all the way across the street, blasting the tree, and going beyond. Now back there in the back of that tree is like 200 feet away. So this light is built for distance to give us all the way back there with just the high mode. And then we're going to go into turbo. It's 3,500 lumens, right? So we're going to turn it on, click it once and get turbo. Boom. Look at how it just lights it up out there. $3,500 lumens. So now we're looking at our feet. Let's wash it out. And we go to the tree that's about 50 feet away, and it's so bright I mean, I can see it clear as day. Lighting the house up, shining all the way back about 200 feet away. I mean, this is just a distance light, and we'll even go as far as to step out in the road. That tree is about 100 yards away, and it's just lighting that bad boy up like it's daylight. It's amazing. Wow. It's a good turbo mode. Wonderful throw on this thing. So I've got the Prometheus on the left, and I've got the Polaris G20L, which is rated at 3,000 lumens on turbo. Alright, so we're going to do the 3,500 lumen Wuben Prometheus and the 3,000 lumen on the Polaris. And we're going to look at the difference here. So that tree right there in the middle is what we're going to look at. So there's your Wuben, the 500 meter rated light, and there is the Polaris. So you can see when I take the Wuben away, there's the Wuben. When I take it away, you can't really see the tree anymore, and I'm shining on it. It's a floodlight, the Polaris is, and the Wuben is a distance light. Alright folks, I really, really, really appreciate you guys looking at my videos. You don't have to. You can look at anybody else that you want to, but you choose for whatever reason, come back here and see me review these lights. And I really want to thank Wuben for sending this product out for me to look at. And also, I want everybody to know that Wuben is looking for U.S. distributors. So if you know somebody, or you have a store, camping store, outdoor gear, firearm store, whatever, Wuben has a big line of lights for different applications. But man, I think any hunter would want a light like this to take with you after you shoot something, to be able to go and find it. This is it. And to be able to see off in the distance, see what you're looking at. Any nighttime thing in the woods, I would want this with me, camping, anything like that. This thing, it just screams quality. I mean, it's heavy duty. I've dropped it. I mean, it just doesn't even look like I've ever used it. And I've been carrying it and testing it for over a month. So I just can't say enough about it. But I just want to thank you guys for watching my channel. Thank you guys for supporting it. Thank you, Wuben, for sending this out. And anybody, feel free to contact me on Facebook as well. You can contact me on my YouTube video and let me know if you're trying to get in touch with Wuben. I'll get you in touch with them. They're trying to find U.S. distributors. So my Facebook group is is EDC/flashlight buyer's guide and review. I know it's a mouthful. It's a train wreck. So it's EDC/flashlight buyer's guide and review. And it's I'll post a link to it in the description, so that way you guys can just clip it. But I do some stuff with Wuben. It'll be on that group. And if anybody needs to get in touch with me about getting with Wuben, feel free to let me know on Facebook. You can message me. So, alright guys, if you got any questions or want to see me do anything else with this light, just let me know. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you, Wuben, for supporting me and my viewers. Appreciate it.